Hello and welcome to this video, which is part of a series based on content from the new chess book Chess for Life, written by me, J.M. Matthew Sadler, and Women's International Master Natasha Reagan, published by Gambit. One of the chapters in the book, and one of my favourites actually, is the chapter on Capablanca. And one of the reasons for including it was the amount of work that I did on Capablanca before a very important tournament for me, the London Classic Rapid Play of 2013. Now, I was absolutely thrilled to be invited to the tournament. It was an opportunity to play a double-round rapid tournament against Jonathan Rowson, the #1 Scottish player, and two classic members of the world's top 10, the world elite, Vladimir Kramnik and Peter Schwidler. Now, I mean, those opportunities, I'm an amateur player, they don't come along very often, so I was absolutely thrilled. I grabbed it with both hands. On the other hand, I was also extremely worried because, it could also all go horribly wrong. So in the months before the tournament, I tried at the weekend to play a few tournaments, and I was not happy with my level of play. First of all, I felt I was very, very slow, which was bad news when you're going to play a rapid tournament. I was missing a number of simple tactics. And also, what was most worrying really was that I felt I was planning very badly. I was coming up with strange things, completely unnatural moves, and finding it very hard to really get a grip of positions. So what I decided was, forget opening preparation. What I really needed was inspiration. I needed somebody to inspire me to play good moves, natural moves, quickly, and with conviction. And I felt that Capablanca could inspire me because he was renowned for his smooth, effortless, natural play. Now, I mean, I feel, looking back, that it really, really did help me because I played pretty well, really, and I even had some good chances to qualify for the quarterfinal stages. So, that was excellent for me. And I felt it helped my play in general, but there was also one specific moment where I really thought, my goodness, studying Capablanca's games, that really helped me. I wouldn't have really found this plan or played it with so much conviction if I hadn't looked at those games before the tournament. I mentioned this episode in the book, but I didn't actually show the game, so I wanted to show you it here. I think it's quite interesting. So this is the position I reached against Vladimir Kramnik in the fifth round. I was black, he was white. And I'd played a Tarrasch defence and got quite a good version of it, actually. I'm looking pretty good. Knights on a good outpost on e4, bishops are active, knights are active, rooks are active, but the Tarrasch is a funny opening, and it can often happen that you get all that you want and then you just sort of end up standing still, and white neutralises your initiative and then just creeps forward and then makes you suffer for your isolated deep pawn in the ending. And of course, that's the sort of thing that Vladimir Kramnik is extremely good at. So I was just, looking at the position and thinking that I didn't want that to happen, when suddenly an idea popped into my head. And as soon as I thought about it, I thought, oh my goodness, Capablanca. And that was the move bishop takes f3. Now, one of the themes that I'd noticed when studying Capablanca's games was that he was completely undogmatic about exchanging off bishops for knights. I found lots of very convincing examples where he'd done this, and the key point was he was always making sure that the pieces that remained really fitted the structure on the board. And when I saw the idea, and I was a little bit uncertain still because, to be honest, in my professional days, I was really a bishops man. I mean, I needed I like my bishops, pointing at the opposing king and giving checkmate, and I really needed therapy before I'd give up a bishop for a knight. But Capablanca was there somehow, sort of telling me, you can do it, son. And at some stage I just thought, Capablanca's telling me to do it, and I did it. I went bishop takes f3. And I think it's a very strong idea. I think it's really absolutely the best idea in this position. I followed it up with bishop takes b2, and then I played knight b4. And when I was evaluating this position, I just understood that in this structure, the knights are the pieces that I need, and they're just really perfect on b4 and e4. First of all, I've got a concrete threat. It's knight d3, forking the queen on b2 and the rook on c1. And it's actually quite hard for white to deal with that. I mean, he can't play a move like rook cd1, because obviously that gives me the c file. If he plays a move like rook fd1, then I've actually got some pleasant exchange. Rook takes c1, rook c1 allows knight d3, and queen takes c1 allows knight a2. So Kramnik thought for quite a while. He was a little bit surprised about it, but he understood that it was quite a tricky idea, and he decided that he was going to give up the c file, and then he was just going to play knight d4, blockade the pawn on d5, and just hold the square on c2. So I can't make immediate use of my control of the c file. However, the point about it is that white can't really challenge black's control of the c file, because after rook c1, in general, I'll just be able to take on c1 and then take the pawn on a2. The only thing that white might be able to do is to try and drive away the knight from b4 with a3, and then and then afterwards a challenge for the c file. But that's actually trickier than you might think. So what I actually did, first of all, I decided I didn't need to worry about a3, and I just played the very quiet move g6. Stops white from playing knight f5, which might have been awkward, and it also gives the black king an escape square, so no more back rank threats. And what I was planning was, after a3, I was just going to go knight d3, and if white plays a move like queen e2, then I just wanted to go rook c3, getting in on all those soft, lovely soft squares on the queen side. And yeah, I mean, I'm covering my knight on d3. They're both attacking the pawn on f2, so it's a little bit tricky to get rid of the knight. And I'm also threatening the pawn on a3. It's just a very active position. Those knights are just real monsters. So Kramnik played queen e2, and again, you know, he's getting out of the way of knight d3. He's stopping knight d3, and so he's looking to play a3. But I decided that wasn't too big a threat. What I really wanted to do was I wanted to try and restrain the white queen, so not let it get active to square like, for example, g4, which might be annoying. So I played the move h5. Now after Kramnik went a3, I just went knight c6. And this is just a good move as well. I mean, what you notice simply is that the knight on e4 is not worse than the bishop on g2. So moving to a structure where those are the pieces I've got left is really no problem at all for black. And indeed, after knight c6, rook c6, queen d3, attacking the pawn on d5, I had the very nice move knight c3. And here there was a bit of a crucial moment, actually. Of course, Kramnik could have played bishop takes d5, and after knight takes d5, queen a3. Well, we're just heading for a draw. But yeah, I mean, he was looking to qualify. Obviously, I'm a fair bit weaker than him, so he really did want to try and beat me, and he decided to carry on. But this could have turned out a little bit nasty for him, or it did turn out a little bit nasty. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite good enough with my time handling to really be able to make the most of it. But he went b4, and now I went a5, and this was probably another good moment to just play bishop d5 and liquidate things. But Kramnik played b takes a5, and after queen c5, this suddenly turned out to be a little bit awkward. I mean, that knight on c3 is actually a monster. Rook c1 is impossible because of knight e2 check. Rook b1 is of course impossible because the knight covers b1. And I've actually got a very annoying little idea, which I don't think he quite appreciated. Is that after rook a1, he defended a3, I've got this lovely move rook a6. I'm going to take the pawn on a5 with a rook, and then I'm going to play rook takes a3 if possible. And I'm just going to end up a pawn up. Even worse than that, I might even just play b5 to b4, exploit the pin on the rook on a1, and just get an absolutely massive passed pawn. Well, things carried on, b5, and unfortunately here at some moment I would really have needed to have a few minutes just to sit quietly and work things out. Unfortunately, my time handling wasn't so good, so I didn't really have those minutes. So in the end, we ended up just repeating the moves in a position where I still had some chances. But the basic thing was, that moment on move 18 where I was able to get past my prejudices, and I was able to do so because I studied themes from Capablanca, and the doubt that I naturally had in myself because I was doing something that wasn't quite my normal style, I managed to overcome that because I had the confidence of having seen a fantastically strong player, Capablanca, do stuff like this in positions, and that gave me the confidence to get out of my comfort zone, to do something I don't normally do, and that got me a fantastic position against one of the strongest players in the world. Well, I hope that inspires you a little bit, and I hope you can give up bishops for knights in your games too.